Well, the story starts in Philly with a fire in the night. 13 little colonies standing up to British might. They rang that bell for freedom, let the whole world hear it ring. And a brand new nation rose up on the courage of a dream. Happy birthday, USA, 250 strong today. From the rivers wide to the ridgelines high, we've come a long, long way. Through every storm and every fight, you kept your spirit bright. Happy birthday, USA, still shining in the light. We rode west into the sunset, chased the buffalo and wind, built the railroads through the mountains, raised a home where none had been. Cowboys, miners, dreamers, every soul with grit and pride, tamed the wild and rolling frontier with the good Lord as our guide. Happy birthday, USA, 250 strong today. From the rivers wide to the ridgelines high, we've come a long, long way. Through every storm and every fight, you kept your spirit bright. Happy birthday, USA, still shining in the light. We broke the chains of slavery, let freedom take its stand, paid the price in blood and sorrow just to heal this broken land. From the Civil War's dark thunder to the peace that followed on, we learned a nation can be wounded and still rise again at dawn. We fought in distant places when the world was gripped with fear, from the trenches over yonder to the islands far from here. We reached the moon, we built the future, proved our dreams could touch the sky. And the spirit of America kept on climbing mighty high. Voices march for equal rights for every woman, every man. From Selma's dusty highway to the Capitol's front stand. Through trials, floods, and hard times, we never lost our flame. 'Cause the heart of all our people is the power of our name. Happy birthday, USA, 250 strong today. From the rivers wide to the ridgelines high, we've come a long, long way. Through every storm and every fight, you kept your spirit bright. Happy birthday, USA, still shining in the light. So pick that banjo, bow that fiddle, let the whole world hear you say, here's to 250 years, and the best still on the way.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we are flying from Logan, Boston International Airport to Washington, D.C. And we have the privilege of Kineas in flight today.
Folks.
Hey,
Happy pre-4th of July, everybody.
happy pre-4th of July. 250 years.
Woohoo!
Woo! All right. We ready to hit it?
I certainly am.
All right. Let me sure my prop sync is on. I like to have that on. Is your prop sync on?
I don't know. I've never really flown this one that much, so I don't know.
You know
I
where the landing gear lever is? Just
yes.
above to the left, there's like a little button.
Yeah, prop sync on.
Okay. I've noticed this plane likes to have a few RPM difference in the RPM speed from left to right, so... And I don't like that.
Okay.
Alright. Giving it the beans. Flaps up. Gear up. Altitude. $7,000.
I'll bet they're going to be partying hard here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love those people from Boston.
Hold short runway tree left. Alaska 1 tree 19er.
Boston Tower. Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011. Frequency change.
I'm actually going to a dry party tomorrow, so you people from Boston have a couple for me, please. When you were setting up your plane, did you set up special nose wheel steering for this aircraft? Any special
No.
nose? Okay, that's weird. Because when I was taking off, and once I hit a certain speed, it doesn't want to respond to rudder, and so I had to really fight it.
This plane takes off at a relatively low speed.
Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011 Boston approach. Squawk 037 tree.
Alpha 6, 5700. Request flight following.
Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011. Radar contact tree miles west of 0 Mike Alpha 6, 5900. Altimeter 2981.
Roger. Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011.
Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011 contact approach on 124.1. Good day.
124.1 for Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011.
What a really unusual setup this has, as far as trying to, like, I'm trying to find like where you set up your flight plan. It's so weird they've got it down there in like a little keyboard, and it's so far away. Well, you know, when they build these things, they don't build them with live streamers in mind, and so, you know, they build them with pilots in mind.
Yeah.
But the way you've got to look all the way down to see the thing in the center of your console, and then look up. Did it activate? It's hard keeping both kind of on the screen at the same time. A little bit tough. Does this have an auto throttle?
It has a speed mach setting,
Okay. Oh, I see it now. Yes. Yes.
which we can set here.
Now I'm wondering if your throttle needs to be into a certain detent for that to be active.
I will set it into. I'll set it to 215.
All right. 215. I have a little bit to catch up, so I'll set it to 230 for the moment.
I'm going a little fast right now, so I'm in the midst of slowing down.
Until I can get this established, what is your heading?
Roughly 261.
61.
But I'm about to. I'm turning to. I'll let you know what my true heading is momentarily. About 240. I am at 7,000 altitude.
7.5 at the moment, heading to 40. I'm trying to establish the direct to. Man, this is very different.
There is a bit of wind as well, so that probably is not helping you.
Oh, it's not that. I'm trying to bring up my flight plan so I can, get it established onto the nav course. I mean, I can see it, but I can't. I'm trying to activate the Garmin so I can do a direct to and make sure that I'm established on the nav course. So there are no waypoints in between. It's just straight to KADW.
Pretty much.
Okay. Still haven't figured out how to make it take the speed select. Let's see. Normally, your throttle has to be in like a detent, some place, and then it accepts that. Sometimes it's also it's I don't know. It's different.
That's one thing I haven't quite figured out about this plane is how the speed mock works.
Yeah, with the CJ4, it was also only active while you were in flight level change for whatever reason. And yeah, unless you turn on an auto throttle. Let's see if my auto throttle, I've got a button to turn on auto throttle. Let's see if it activates. Oh.
I've never seen,
activated.
I've looked all through the buttons and switches in this plane, and I've never seen auto throttle.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But I could just be missing it somewhere, which is highly probable. I am locked onto the nav line on the Garmin.
I think I am too now.
Going 225, even though I have the speed set to 215, and I've pulled the... Try and bring the engine speed back just a tad more and see what happens.
If I can still see you out there anywhere.
I could ask. Hold on, I'll see.
There you are. Oh, but whatever I pushed, it knocked it out of. Whatever I pushed it. I've still got some conflict set up somewhere in my joysticks. So when I pushed something, all of a sudden the plane just started flipping over. Got a double control set up somewhere. Yeah, what an unusual bug I had the other day. Just every profile that I've had set up just blew out. And first it started out as just a mouse conflict. And all my profiles were there. I was scrolling through them all and checking them all out, and went to go fix the mouse. And then I'm like, well, let me just restart the thing. So I restarted the thing. The next time I came in, all my profiles were gone. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's a cloud thing. Let me restart it a few times and see if it reestablishes. Nope. So resetting your controls up can be kind of a pain in the butt, and a lot of it has to do with Asobo assign all these buttons. They just pre-assign everything for you,
Right.
Thinking you're going to use what they want. And I never use any of their pre-assigned stuff, so going through every button on your controller and deleting everything they've got in there. Ooh.
Oh, okay. I just figured it out on the
Okay.
speed control here. It's just like you said. It's only set during flight level change.
Okay.
So really, I mean, I'm going to 14 now because I've pulled my engine speed down. But yeah, that knob there doesn't really help you much.
Turn off.
And you're behind me somewhere.
Yeah, probably about 20 miles. Looks like. Could be closer, but it's hard to tell.
And I don't even see you.
when you're in a group, you know how it points out like your next waypoint. Sometimes it'll put a marker on the screen where your next waypoint is. It should always put up some sort of arrow where your flight leader or group leader is to do that.
Or just like everybody in your group to just mark them.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing that's been kind of bothering me lately too is the distance on all points of views. So if you set city markers and landmark markers and all these markers and you turn them on, they don't really seem to activate until you're like 5 miles away sometimes longer, but lately they don't seem to be kicking in until you're right over the top of them, and I don't appreciate that. It doesn't matter how far away. If I've turned on markers, turn them on.
Yeah.
I want to see all the city names at whatever distance. I don't want to just keep seeing these white pins until I'm on top of them.
Right. Pretty annoying.
It is.
I'm going to steady 215 now.
All right. I am speeding up because I'm trying to catch up. I'm at 236. Can hear my frame rattling as I'm getting ready to go into overspeed. Pull it back a tiny bit.
I was overspeeding there for a little bit. I was going like 257, I think I hit.
Wow, you may have just went... That's weird. Oh, what did I do now? These joystick controls. I toggled something. I think it just turned off the engine. Ah! That doesn't sound good.
You'll probably have to tune to approach manually. Oh,
What I was
Lord.
doing was I was looking at you, and I could see you in external view and see where you were. And now that I'm back, maybe you're just a touch out of range. Because what a pain in the butt. Now I can't see you. Let's see. Let's look that way. That's Spacecast and Moon over there, and let's look this way. That's weird. I don't see you.
It's weird. I don't
It
like
is.
that.
No, yeah, something's wrong with my throttle. I think it went into reverse. I'm not really certain what it
Went
did
into
here.
like full detent or something.
It sure did. Now I can't get my throttle. There it goes. Yeah, it pulled my throttle all the way back to zeros.
Scary.
Oh, and I swore I had set up these controllers, right? But oh man, I hope I don't have these problems tonight. Tonight is the group flight, Laserwolf's group flight.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, no matter what I do, it keeps throwing. Oh, what happened there? No matter what I do, it keeps throwing it all the way to zeros, throwing the throttle all the way to shut off. And it shut the prop off. The hell is wrong with my controls? It shut the prop all the way down. So I'm about 1,000 feet off the ground trying to pull up. And I've managed to save it, but wow. So somehow or another I assigned the wrong controllers. Let me take a look what the hell it did.
That's crazy.
It certainly is. Maybe that'll help. Sometimes, right before the start of this show, I was trying to work on the controls for the Archer Midnight That's a dual joystick setup.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do not go into the controls and make sure that whatever I'm flying, if it's not using two joysticks, to go into controls and make sure that the other joystick is deactivated, because sometimes, you know what I mean, it's looking for controls from my other input from the other joystick. So I've just
Right.
deactivated it, and hopefully that'll solve some of the problems. Let me head over towards the GPS line to see if I can spot you again. So what are you doing tomorrow? You have any special plans for the 4th?
No, not really. Hanging out.
I've got, and it's going to be nice, I've got a group of neighbors. I don't know that they will this year, because we got a bunch of fires going on right now that I believe that were mostly set by arsonists.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, swear to God, I don't trust certain people within our society enough at all anymore. They're too radicalized, and you know, they want to shut down 4th of July.
Yeah, they do.
And they have been catching, in the last 2 days, they've caught several arsonists setting fires. And they had one today that was trying to set one in the center, pretty much in south center of town, in a field. So we've got all these wildfires that are just out of control all the way around us. Well, everything pretty much to the east. Anyway, so of course they've canceled everything, and now they've made it a felony if you're lighting off fireworks at this time. But I've got one of these neighbors that I don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to ignore it or not. But they're usually really, I mean, this is their event. They're firework people, like large mortars, and my neighbors sometimes put on the best firework displays around. So I really doubt they will. They normally seem like the very patriotic type, and they'll just go ahead and bite the bullet. And
I would.
but in the 40 years that I've lived here, we've never had a problem. You know, or 50 years that I've lived here,
Well, what
we've
was it,
never
like
had a problem. But
last year or the year before, Los Angeles tried to cancel or ban fireworks, and
Right.
it was so cool, the videos of just like the entire city lit up with fireworks.
yeah, they're actually, this is how, again, you know, they're going to be using drones this year for the first time in LA to pinpoint and punish people.
That sounds really stupid because they'll just get hit by a mortar. I wouldn't be flying a drone around on the 4th of July.
You know, as we reflect on our country where we are, I can't say I'm terribly happy. You know, we're more like the country we tried to escape from these days.
I agree.
And that's really sad. And we had laws in place that prevented, that early on our founders put in place as of like 1790. They realized certain mistakes and certain things needed to be changed to keep America, the American way, as they envisioned it, what they wanted to be the American way. So they put all these rules in place that forbid certain ideologies from being promoted. People that are promoting these ideologies couldn't operate in the United States.
Well,
and over time,
we still have those laws. It's just the current judicial system refuses to enforce those laws, and that's why it feels that way.
well, one of them, a big one, was called the House Un-American Activities Committee. It actually had another name, but not too dissimilar. It was a House American something or another. But anyway, from the 1930s and then forward, they changed it to HUAC, the House Un-American Activities Committee. And this straight up forbid, you've heard of McCarthyism. We've all heard of McCarthyism. So they gave it a name and tried to paint this man McCarthy as the bad guy. But McCarthy didn't create this. This was a system that had been in place way before Joe McCarthy showed up. And it was to prevent these ideologies from establishing in the United States and prevent people from espousing them, advocating them, promoting them, and it kept them all out of our institutions, especially our schools. So in 1974, right at the beginning of 1975, the Democrats had finally established a supermajority in the House of the Congress. And the first thing they did, hazardous, is they abolished HUAC.
Of course, because they're racist and that's what they're about.
So this allowed all these enemies of the United States to come and re-entrench into our institutions, especially education.
Right.
So academically speaking, this would be a good paper to write like 40 years after HUAC, after they abolished HUAC. Was it worth it? No. And that's what we're dealing with today. And another really sad thing is that
we have an anti-communism law too, but they're not enforcing that, and the Democrat Party seems to be embracing that. So the people need to be properly educated on who the Democrats really truly are.
Yes.
They were the party of Jim Crow and slavery. The Republicans won the Civil War and freed the slaves. They call us racist when we were the ones that had the first black member of any agency, and he was the head of the Republican Party. Super frustrating.
Oh, terribly, terribly.
And yet they want to call us the Nazis. Okay. Okay.
Oh, and that's right out of the communist playbook too.
Yeah. Blame others of what you're guilty of.
Exactly.
Projection.
Keep all the heat off of you.
Yep. That's kind of why I wrote that song.
So, so I'm very frustrated. And another thing is, when I was growing up, and I'm sitting in history class, this is probably 9th grade history, and they're teaching us about the fall of empires, the history repeating itself. And it really struck me hard that day, because we were learning about how long Egypt lasted, how long Greece lasted, how long Rome lasted. And then this chapter of the history book's called The American Age. And they're like, well, based on every time a great empire or nation is established, they've lasted only half the amount of time as the great one before it. So they all the historians put bets that the United States of America would only last 250 years.
Well,
and I remember,
and the reason they said that is because all of this was planned.
Well, if all of history's been planned, then anyway, I remember being just laughing. I'm like, no, we're better than that. We'll absolutely be able to defy history. We will not. We're too proud of a people. We've got these great educational systems. If every ninth grader is learning the same thing I did, by the time we get up and we're adults and voting age, and we won't let this happen. We will absolutely not. And I'm not so certain right now. There are too many of our enemies allowed to run rampant in the United States right now.
I think we need to put
all the offices,
a kibosh, and sign a 50-year moratorium on any and all immigration to the United States.
Yeah, and even our founder said there needs to be periods where you don't have any immigration.
Yeah.
You can't flood a country and then you're going to screw your economy up. And again, all these people in the government that it's like they never went to school. Again, they don't care. Because if they did, then they wouldn't allow it.
Right.
They would do what the founder said. You have periods of immigration, and then you got to let everything balance out. You got to let the economy balance out. People get the work. You've got to let it all balance out. And they've run roughshod over that too, and just let people come in willy-nilly. And yeah, I really think that that there should be a brutal wake-up call, and I don't mean brutal in violence, but unless they push it, but a brutal wake-up call to everybody that's been screwing up.
I have this fear that it's actually going to take a brutal wake-up call. Some crazy terrorist is going to set off some bomb somewhere, like a big one, like subnuclear or something, and blow up half a city, and that's what it's gonna unfortunately take to wake people up.
Unfortunately, it goes back to they don't know what they're asking for.
They don't know. They're not properly educated.
All these people that say, hey, if it came down to a civil war, we'd win. No, look, this group over here, you're 13%. This group over here, you're less than like 3%. Because you're entrenched in safety zones, you think that you're actually the majority, and you're not.
Yeah.
In any way.
Just because they're the loudest doesn't mean they're the majority.
Yeah, and they're surrounded by all these people that espouse the same things, and they think that they've got power, and because they do have power, for as small as they are, they've got all this power, and they really honestly think that, and sadly they do have power. But yeah, we need to, one of the things I would do immediately, and I'm sad with the Republicans too, because after 1975, we have had moments where the Republican Party has had a supermajority back in the House too. And the first thing they should have done is reenact HUAC and put a stop to it right then and there.
Right. And it really did not help that Obama basically legalized propaganda on our news networks.
The Smith-Mundt Act, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We need to abolish that crap immediately.
Absolutely. Immediately. I think so many people need, sadly, but that's just the way it is. If you play the treason game, you deserve the treason outcome.
Right.
And I think there's so many people that need to wake up tomorrow and find themselves headed to Gitmo.
I think after the midterms, we're going to see a lot of that.
Yeah, there's too many people right now. Sanctuary cities alone hazardous. That is insurrection and... It is.
Treason. I agree wholeheartedly. Yep. You're giving aid and comfort to America's enemies.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And the whole point of the United States was mutual protection. That's the whole reason why we joined into an agreement of mutual protection. But if you have people running around that are in your sanctuary, we don't have papers and borders, and you're a sanctuary, but they're more than welcome to cross over into anybody else's territory. So you betray that. Sanctuaries betray our first agreement of mutual protection.
Yeah, I think we need to start arresting governors, state politicians.
It's sad, but they did it. They pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and it's got to stop. We will collapse. We will lose our country. And the last thing I want is, man, when I was growing up, I was such a Democrat.
So was I. I voted for Obama.
I believe in all these great things, but our founders told us they're going to use it all against you.
Yeah,
they're going to use every
us,
beautiful system that we have.
We didn't
in
listen.
place. They're going to use it all against us, and they've done it. And now it's okay. Well, push is coming to shove, and yeah, it's no surprise that Citizen Vigilante movie is super popular right now. It's very violent. I don't know if you heard about that.
I've seen small clips of it. It looks interesting.
Elon, it was banned in Germany, so Elon immediately just made the movie available on Twitter.
Yeah, I heard about that.
X. And I watched it, and it's brutal. An American. It's an American, too. It's about an American who's going over to Europe to say, look, you are not waking up. If you won't wake up, I'm going to show you how to wake up. I'm going to wake you up. if you won't do it for yourselves, I'm coming here to do it for you. So it's basically this American vigilante in Europe who is, you know, doing what he feels he has to do to help them. But it's going on here. I mean, it's the same thing here. They're pushing and pushing and pushing.
They're trying to push us into another civil war. They want Republicans to start shooting Democrats.
Yep.
And we're not those type of people. We want justice. We want to see people go to prison.
That's the system. We want our system to work the way it's supposed to work. We should not have to do such a thing.
We shouldn't. That is an extreme last resort. And it's strictly for the government, not for society to be turned on each other. We have the Second Amendment for a tyrant government, not a tyrant people.
And I was so sad in the last 20 years or so. When I was growing up, voting and the new president was like the Super Bowl. You know, hey, good luck to your team. I hope my team wins, but good luck to your team. And then whoever was the new president, we'd kind of rally behind him, and we'd just, you know, whether we liked it or not. And, you know, hey, and lately, you know, in the last 20 years, it's become, oh, we're the enemy.
Well,
again,
I think that the difference
the
in modern society is pretty obvious. Like, when you compare the Biden admin and how Republicans just kind of sat there, we didn't say much. We talked our shit, but we never wished death upon the president.
Never.
Right? We just wished justice. But yet here's the other side today, wishing assassinations and murder on Republicans.
Sure enough, and that's the headline this week, is this one.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Saying hey, let's rally around and go kill all the
murder
Republicans.
your neighbor Republican or whatever he said.
Yeah, that's just that is literally the most un-American bull crap ever.
It's disgusting.
You're not an American. Yeah, you don't even consider yourself an American. How dare you? How dare you?
And when it comes to citizenship, I think Trump needs to sign a temporary executive order until
yes, sir.
Until the midterms, when we can codify something permanent to fix it, where if any citizen spends more than 6 months outside of the United States and has a second home outside the United States, your citizenship is permanently revoked.
Gotcha.
I think that would be a good temporary solution until we can codify something.
Yeah.
Whether it's another amendment or whatever it is. Just remove the citizenship from people that refuse to live in the country. You can't call yourself a citizen and not live here. Sorry.
Yeah, or just show up to vote and sway elections.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
We saw what the Supreme Court did this week, which was sad.
That's what I'm kind of referring to. Like,
yeah.
And you know, it was closer than people say. It was 5-4.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been.
It shouldn't have been, but that's the liberal bench. They're bought off.
Yeah, it was pretty sickening.
It is disgusting. And that's why I think we need this temporary executive order for something like I just mentioned until we can codify something, the law or an amendment that permanently fixes it.
I believe in everything America was created to be, And for the people that want to come here to truly be a part of
Yeah,
this thing
if they want to
that they've
move here
created
and
for us.
assimilate and be a part of our culture and our system, awesome.
Yeah.
But these people don't.
No, and that is literally written into the decisions, like with regards to, let's say, Islam. It's literally on paper where they're saying, look, they haven't reformed in the last 2,000 years. They're not assimilating. They're not going to.
Yeah, they're not
coming
going
here
to.
they're coming here to dominate, and we've given them an extra 200 years to chill out, and they should be forbidden forever being here. And again, the people that consider themselves more wise in this day and age decided, oh no, they're okay now. Yeah, sure. That was a huge betrayal and stab in the back there too, is because again, now they're just setting us up for a conflict to fight each other or fight them on our own soil.
They want to start a race war.
That'd be well, it's like more like a religious war in that case, because they're not a race. It's not Islam is not a race.
Right,
It's just a theology. And so, when people are screaming racist about that, it's like, no, that's not. If they, more like the what's going on with the black community, trying to get them to be the way that they have been lately, like wanting them to use them as their pawns.
Right.
Big mistake.
It
mistake.
does seem like they're waking up. They're realizing that
Oh Lord, I hope so.
they have been used and lied to. I see a lot of videos and shorts and stuff like that about just average black people. Like, I was a Democrat, but obviously I was lied to. Everything that they have said over the last 50 years has been a lie. Nothing has worked out. It's only gotten worse. So I'm now a Republican. Or
Amen.
a conservative mindset.
Yeah. Amen.
Now we just need to change the younger people of all races to realize that communism is a complete and utter lie and disaster.
Yeah, and that's why I said I really believe that we need something like HUAC V2, HUAC V2, and that immediately kicks every single ism out of the schools. You can't operate, period. That's just it. If you're there to teach Marxism, Islamism, whatever you're there, whatever, you're not, that's not your job. Your job is not to promote. Your job is to teach.
When it comes to the public school system, I see it as a failed experiment. Homeschooling has worked for hundreds of thousands of years.
It only failed again, my brother, after they abolished HUAC. Because prior to that, if a teacher came in and said, I'm a communist, you're not, sorry, you can't teach. I'm a Marxist. You can't teach. I'm a socialist,
speaking of,
democratic
of
socialist.
communists and stuff in places like that, I mean, Colorado just had a primary of some communists.
Oh, bro.
But just
It's so
remember,
bad.
when it comes midterms, they cannot take the oath of office, and they'll fail to do so. And they cannot be put into office because they can't swear an oath to the Constitution. They will not uphold it, and they do not honor it.
Yeah, and I think at that point, when they do allow them to take the position, that to me, that's an act of war.
Yeah, I would say so. And then I would have this fear of like, okay, who's going to be the first to start picking these communists off? Because all it takes is some crazy nut job to squeeze a trigger on like Mondami in New York and take him out because he's taken everything from this person,
Uh-huh.
And then
Again,
then it happens
that's
somewhere else, like in Colorado, and then in
But again, that's where you and I are both praying that the federal government do its job, and when it happens, they're the one that comes in. They're the one that comes in and snatches these people up and removes them, because we shouldn't have to, and we shouldn't have to be pushed to the point where I recognize you're an enemy combatant. You're here for malicious purposes. What you're engaging in is insurrection and treason,
right.
and an attempt to overthrow this country. And by all rights, we have the rights to take them out. But again, that's not going to work. It's just that's not the way things are. Look at Great Britain.
It's not something we want to do.
No, and the government needs to really, hey, sorry, and they need to operate much faster, because the way things have been operating, it's been so slow to do anything.
I think we need to hurry and finish whatever the hell is gonna happen with Iran or Cuba. Get that shit wrapped up like ASAP, so we can focus on our homeland.
Yeah, and that's a tough one, especially with regards to Iran, because to me, Islam is bigger than Iran. And they're trying to say, well, look at all these wonderfully nice Muslim countries that we're working with. I'm sorry, I am so disturbed as an individual these days that I don't trust one of them. I don't want anything to do with any of them.
When they blatantly say and call us infidels and that we don't deserve to be alive, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're coming from a nice Muslim country, you're Islam. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, your doctrines don't allow us to coexist.
Yeah.
And so I would cut off, and that's the thing, and it's so much bigger than Iran. And what, like more than 50 Islamic countries, 59.
Right.
I got another interesting bit of trivia that my cousin and I were driving around Denver yesterday, and we were discussing how many communist countries are there in the world, and there's basically 5. That's it. And we said, well, but it didn't list Russia. And we said, wait, Siri, isn't Russia a communist country? Siri says, no. Russia has ceased to be a communist country. Russia is now
technically at the end of the Cold War
republic.
Yeah. They've changed a little bit, just enough to have that term removed, which is weird, because when I think of Russia, I think of communism.
Me too. It's the first thing we were thinking of. No, it's like Chile and
China.
Yeah.
North Korea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I learned today?
Everything that Putin has been doing, I have not had a problem with anything Putin has been doing or saying, and every bit of evidence he's presented, I don't have any problem with Russia.
I personally don't have an issue with Russia. I take issue with indiscriminate bombing of civilians, but that falls on both sides. Ukraine and Russia. They both do it. And in my opinion, it all just needs to fucking stop.
Yeah, and we have these world courts, and when Putin came out and he presented the treaties, the documents that were signed, and how this one has been betrayed, and this one has been betrayed, and what the hell do we have the Hague for?
Right.
What the hell do we have a world court for that has all these documents that could just say, yeah, this document was signed here. We've just validated like a court case.
Yeah, because they don't do anything. They just sit there idly by and watch it happen. And they don't care.
And then NATO literally betraying us and forcing us into a situation by being lying bastards.
I think we should just get the hell out of NATO and let it collapse. let these countries defend themselves. If they want an army, you better have a good one, because we're not going to be there to defend your ass anymore and pay
Yeah.
for your shit.
Yeah, you were told you're not encroaching anymore on their space. You were told you won't do this, you won't do that, you won't come any closer to them. This is their territory, and if you poke the bear, FAFO.
Yeah, and frankly, when it comes to this Ukraine and Russia stuff, I don't blame Russia for what they did. They knew about the biolabs that the United States, or the I call the deep state, was using there. So he took those out. He had those treaties that they violated. The UN and NATO were trying to take Ukraine when it was against those treaties. Putin said F all.
Yeah, what would we have done?
Yeah. So I
And
don't
that's
blame
literally
him.
that. If you're changing goal lines after World War II, I think you're in the wrong. And now again, sir, I'm not. When it comes to after World War II, all agreements that were made, all agreements that have been betrayed since World War II, I'm not an expert on. But I do know that our country deserves a lot of shame, because it's been told to me that a lot of the agreements that the United States made after with Russia after World War II, or the end of World War II, that we are the ones that reneged upon the agreements. Now, I would love to get clarification and have a great after World War II
As far as my
historian.
understanding, there were a number of treaties that the U.S. government has
Yeah, we did not
not
live up to the terms of the
upheld.
agreement.
Yeah.
And to me, that's just, as an American, it makes me feel so full of shame. And these are the things that undermine me as an American, because, you know, we grew up believing we're Superman, goddammit. We're Captain America. We are the superheroes. We do represent that power in the world for good. We do everything honestly. We do everything by the book. And to
Well,
any slight taints out of lawful good,
we
that
free
we've engaged in-
Americans want to feel that way. It's not
Yeah.
our fault. It's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's the government's fault. They went behind our backs and violated these treaties, and then didn't say anything about it, and kept us, the people, out of the loop. So we can't be blamed. We can feel bad, yes, but it's not our fault. It's their fault.
But it does. Again, you know, when I want to stand up on the street corner and be moral, and this
It makes
shit
it
is
difficult.
shoved back in my face,
It makes it difficult, yeah.
then, you know, you're just throwing shit on the Superman costume,
Yeah.
on my Uncle Sam clothing. You've tainted me, and it's yeah, I feel bad, but you're right. My anger is directed where it needs to go. Man.
I don't know. I just live day by day and hope for the best.
Yeah.
That's all we can really do right now.
Who would you want for the next president? Who's gonna be able to perpetuate and keep things going? And
you know
and
what? Rubio. He's
I
already
like the
got
guy.
my freaking vote. That
That's
dude is
cool.
a freaking beast, man. I like him.
As much as I have, as little as I know ultimately about JD Vance, and you know,
He's a good
hasn't been
vice
showing,
president.
he hasn't been showing up in the Senate to fight and going in there and
Well,
kicking everybody's ass.
he hasn't been given a chance, because he can only go in there and do that when it's an even split. And there hasn't been an even split because the rhinos don't give him a chance to do that.
I heard the vice president has more powers than that, and I was reading something about it today. And if it's true, then he does have more power than we're led to believe. And so I would like to get some clarification on that and some education on that.
Education.
Uh-huh. I are a graduate.
As far as I know, and I could just need more education on it, like you say, but when it comes
Yes.
to stuff in the Senate, like he can only break a tiebreaker, like that, and that only goes so far, right? Like you have to have a tie in order to break a tie, and have him go in there and do something.
Well, he already has
But I could be
abilities
wrong.
to summon them. So I'm going to look into that one in particular. Not just be a tiebreaker on a vote, but to make their asses come in. And, you know, they've been doing all these vacations. They've been stalling all
They
of...
spend 80% of their time sitting on their ass at home doing jack shit.
They've stalled all of the president's appointments. They've been stalling all of his appointments. They've actively been working against the Save America Act. They've been actively working at... They really are hostile. They have been really hostile, and they're very hostile.
You can blame the rhinos for being so corrupt, because it's partly their fault. If we have a majority, why can't we just pass this shit? You know?
Yeah, we really need to get rid of them. Prior to 47 showing up in 2016, their what do you call it? The likability rating was at 13%. It was below 13%. So prior to that, if we look back over the last 20 years, it's been the same thing over and over. All these people coming in saying that they're Republicans, getting elected, and they're not.
They're not. Yeah, they're rhinos, Republican in name only.
They come in and they say they're going to do these things, and over the last 20 years, every 4 years, and just perpetually getting screwed by them.
That's just because they're all on the same side. They're all paid by the same evil conglomerates, whoever that may be, to turn their backs on we the people and ignore what we want.
Oh, I said Club of 400. Maybe they've got 100 more. It was actually the Club of 300, but my brain threw in an extra 100 for how much time has passed since we first learned about them. All these groups, all these power players. But yeah, so they're at 13%. DJT shows up, and we're like, yeah, and at least he was speaking the right way. I see what's going on. I'm dissatisfied too. This is the best platform to run on, and I'm going to do it. And I have believed him. And the moment that he said he was going to run and came down the escalator, I was there. I've been to several of his rallies whenever he comes to Colorado Springs.
You know, he's never come to Salt Lake. If he does, I'm there in a heartbeat, but he's never come here.
I think Google deleted my photos. They uploaded from my phone, and I was showing them off. I was really close. I was probably 30 feet away from the podium as of the very first time he came to Colorado Springs. Yeah, I was on board immediately. So
I wasn't 100% on board, but I was listening very close to what he was saying, and I honestly didn't vote in that first 2016 election because I knew I wasn't going to vote for fucking treasonous, disgusting repo Hillary. That wasn't ever going to fucking happen. And I just didn't know what Trump's what his ultimate goal was, you know, like it seemed like he was like all over the place. Like I heard what he was saying and I was like, yeah, I hear you, I feel you, I know what you're saying there, bud, but is that really what you're gonna do? Because historically,
yeah, the best liar. Whoever the best liar is wins.
Right.
Okay. But
I didn't vote.
Then we go back to his. But then I felt really good after his first 100 days.
He won, and I was like, holy shit! Like he's actually doing this shit. Like, all right. So I'm totally on board now.
In that first 100 days, I've never been impressed by a president. It started when I started paying attention to politics.
Right.
They say what they're going to do, and then the first 100 days they didn't do shit. They can't get shit done. Pardon my language, folks. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
I need to take a breath.
This stream has gone off the rails. So,
well, it's the 4th of July. I hope we're at least forgiven for political talk. I don't do it. You know, I try to avoid it. Early on, when I first started flying and doing the SkyDude live stream, since I was doing such long cargo flights, yeah, it would devolve into me talking this. I just needed to not.
I'm the type of person, like, you know, if they want to get mad at me, make me delete a live stream, so be it. I'm not gonna stop saying what I believe. It's my right and First Amendment to say what I say. You don't have to watch. You don't have to agree with it. Right?
Yeah. But since one of the weird things about YouTube, when you set up a live stream, the same category of things that you're presented with when establishing a video on YouTube are not the same. And one of the things is the self-rating. So if you're posting a video to YouTube, there's a page you have to go through where you have to say specifically what your video is about.
In a standard upload, yeah.
Yeah. And basically advertisers or others will determine if they want anything to do with your station or not. And basically some of these things are that will prevent brands or advertisers working for you if you check boxes like, I'm speaking about political things, I'm speaking about controversial things, I occasionally use adult language.
I try not to swear too much, but I do. I mean, I've always had a really bad mouth, even as a kid.
On nights where I've gone off the rails too, and I've crossed that 18 threshold, I'll just usually turn around and bite the bullet. I did it. I was the one who crossed the line, and I'll go mark my stream 18 or older. But normally I don't like any F-bombs because, hey, you know, for my live stream, it's about flying and having a good time and listening to great music. And
speaking of that, we're flying over Philadelphia at the moment.
Philadelphia Freedom, Elton John comes to mind.
Anyway.
I was a huge Elton John fan growing up, and I finally got to see him live twice, and so happy.
Isn't he like 80 years
bucket list
old
complete now? Yeah, probably. But yeah, I was 5 years old, man, and I'm jamming out in a chair at my grandma's house to his song Daniel.
Oh yeah.
And I got my eyes closed, and I'm imagining that I'm playing the piano, and I open up my eyes, and like the whole family is looking at me, just smiling. So I was just getting into it, man.
Did you hear that the lead singer of the Village People just died?
No, sir, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Hey, let me raise my mug. Cheers. We had I really enjoyed like a couple of your tracks. Cheers.
Yeah, YMCA,
peace,
like all of Trump's rallies and stuff. He played that. He said something.
I liked In the Navy. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. It was funny. They disappeared for decades until Trump came around, and then everybody knew who that was, and they kind of rose back into popularity and fame, and it kind of gave me like a little bit of pride and happiness.
Sure, we were coming to grips with all the, well, they have recently, I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, said that, look, we weren't actually associated with the gay community. They just kind of adopted us. It really was just costumes. We never stood, we never.
Oh yeah. They've mentioned that a couple times over the years. Like we're not gay.
That's that's what I remember. They just drilled into us that they're a gay band, they're promoting gay things, and that's when the Democrats were really pushing getting rid of vice squads. And anyway, they became associated with that, and I think that kind of, I don't know if they were serious as a band or not, but that could have had a lot to do with it, as they were attached to that.
Yeah, that's true.
I still believe vice squads are a good thing. I have complete and total tolerance for sexuality. I don't, I mean, not, I can't say complete and total. That's wrong, because I say I support vice squads.
You probably have the same opinion that I do. I don't care what you do in your bedroom.
Right.
Just don't put it on me. Don't make me recognize whatever you got going on. It's none of my business. Don't force me to say anything I don't want to say, etc.
Yeah. And if I see you walking down the street with your dork hanging out in front of kids, oh, buddy, you're going to jail. Right. It's as simple as that. If you're in school and you've got these books that say this and this and this, I'm sorry, you're all going to jail. Yeah. I'm the vice squad, and look, that's un-American.
It's disgusting.
You don't screw with innocence, and you let innocence
indecent exposure
happen in time
needs to be punished.
Make vice squads great again. Of course, the Democrats abolished them. We used to even have TV shows, Vice Squad, and in a lot of good movies, you always saw the Vice Squad going in to bust up the massage parlors, and I mean, a weird world as this.
We are a weird world.
Yeah, we want everybody to be whatever they want.
That's the beauty of America. You can be who you want to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that applies to everybody. And that doesn't give you the right to force your views and ideology upon others.
Yeah, into the public, when again you can't protect the children's innocence. And that's, to me, that's one of the greatest sins there is when you were a little kid, everything is so magical and wonderful and innocent, and it truly is. When you start growing up and you start losing that,
you start to see the world for what it really truly is, and it
right.
You know, my son, it was about a week ago or so, maybe, we had pulled into our parking spot and we were getting out of the van, and for some reason, I don't know what brought him to ask this question, but he asked something like, "How do you see the world, Dad?" And I just kind of stopped for a second, and I kind of looked back at him, and I had to be honest. I told him as he's about to turn 8, I said, "Dude, when you get older, you're going to realize that the world is not as pleasant or happy or peaceful as you think it is right now. So enjoy your time while you have it."
I always told my kids when they're growing up too fast, I'm like, look, you have a limited amount of kid points.
Yeah.
And when they're all spent up, you'll never be a kid again. And
they're gone in the blink of an eye.
And you're going to have so much time, you can't even imagine how much time you're going to have after you blow through them all. So when it comes to making a decision, whether it's something on your own or a peer-based decision, think about that.
Yeah.
Is what you're going to do going to take away one of your kid points? Is that something maybe you should wait to do? Is it worth it? No, it's not. My parents we grew up in Colorado. They were all hippies, and they put all the responsibility on us immediately. You can do you can do this, you can do that, you can do whatever you want. But if you leave the boundaries of this property, your sanctuary, you're screwed. You get whatever you deserve. You choose to engage in any crappy behaviors outside of this zone, it's on you.
My parents were hippies too, but they gave up that life when they had kids, and they went on the straight and narrow and kind of pretended like their past never existed, and they just lived that happy Democrat lifestyle.
Oh, now here's the thing. Here's a bit of a twist. They were part of the hippie generation, but they were. My dad was a hardcore construction worker. The other gentleman had been in Peace Corps, but engineer. And our mothers were, well, the dichotomy in the mothers is interesting. One was from the East, but one was very religious. And so, yeah, same kind of thing. Although we would go camping and kumbaya and get exposed to all these amazing hippie things, it was very conservative. But still, they wanted it. Look, we know what you're going to do. We know you're going to do it. If we say no, you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, my parents understood that concept too. Like, we can tell you no till we're blue in the face, but you're going to do what you're going to do. And if you get in trouble, it's on you.
Yeah.
I have lowered my altitude to 3,500 feet. I don't know how far behind me you are.
I'm not even there. And then I was going the wrong way for a long time, and I looked down. I'm like, oh crap. So I'm back on course now, and I'm at 7,000 still. And yeah, I'll start coming down. How close are you?
By the map, it looks like I'm maybe 40, 50 nautical miles, something like that.
Wow.
Maybe 30, somewhere in that range.
I'll need to spend some time with this plane and get some experience, because I feel like a duck out of water with this cockpit in particular. I mean, I recognize everything. It's just being able to, the fluidity of it. Go click here, click here, click here. Do what I need.
Right.
Look what I need.
I love this plane. It's got power.
Yeah, you do.
And it seems to respond well to like what you want it to do.
A lot of folks love this plane.
I want to get better at some of the jet aircraft. I need to practice those a little bit more.
That's where my problem started the other night. I wanted to do an employee mission as an I wanted to fly an Airbus 320 again.
Right.
I want to start flying the airliners again, and let my VIPs work on their own. And yeah, so that's what I would like to get to this week. Tonight, though, I'm flying the F-35 and doing escort mission in Laserbolt's channel.
Yeah, I saw you bombing around in that when I was watching last week.
At the moment, it's we don't understand the logic of certain things with the autopilot, or it's I'm not sure. It could be.
They're a really complicated flight system, but once you get it down, I hear they're super fun.
Oh, it's absolutely a dream. It's like the eVTOLs, but, you know, Superman's eVTOL, you know, you're dealing with military grade eVTOL, or just VTOL. Let me throw the E off of there. Military VTOL, jet fighter VTOL. It's so badass. And it, compared to every other military cockpit you've ever seen, it's more like the Archer and the Joby. It's wonderful. It's small. You only have there's not 1,000 buttons everywhere. 1,000 knobs and switches like every other military aircraft, and it's a dream, man. But the autopilot, when you turn it on, you tell it to set certain things. It kind of has a mind of its own, and I'm trying to isolate the problem. Whether it's when you engage it, is it tied to other functions? Because sometimes it doesn't do what you want it to do. And so lately, and this is me and all the other F-35 pilots in the group flight are concurring that we have to mostly fly it in no autopilot, or just autopilot controlling the auto throttle. You can't really use it for too much else. Sometimes it works, and then sometimes no.
That's
Other
irritating.
than that, man, it is. It is, because it's so wonderful that you don't want that little thing ruining your experience. Oh, it's an absolute dream. I love flying it so much. And that's why I'm such a fan of the eVTOL. Because super simplified cockpit, it can still do what you need it to do, but it doesn't take years to learn. 15 minutes and you've flown them.
I've flown.
There's nothing to it.
Well, I think it's the Joby during the single like training thing where they have you take off from the airport and then fly to the top of the hotel building in Dubai or whatever. That's all. That's my extent of experience with those.
Okay.
But
Well,
it was really easy to fly. I mean, I had to restart it, I think, twice, just because I needed to reread the little instructions in the top corner of the screen for the buttons to press.
Yeah.
But after that, I was like, oh, okay, like, this is straightforward. I get it.
And I think the impact of that cockpit is going to carry beyond them into other general aviation, and that'll be a dream come true as well. Is more simplified controls. I mean, you still have all the functionality, but it's so much easier to fly. Anyway, they're wonderful. I love them. I think you could grab somebody off the street and say, in 15 minutes, I'm going to teach you how to take off, fly, and land this thing without killing you or anybody else. You may not know how to use the screens. You may not know how to do anything else. I'm just going to teach you how to lift up, fly, land, and in 15 minutes, you'll be able to do it.
The big complaint right now is range. So like those batteries can only go like 100 miles or something like that in total before they need a complete recharge. So the military version has I think they said it was a gas turbine that when you're in like a low idle or something at cruise speed, the turbine turns on and recharges the batteries or something like that.
Nice.
So they've extended the range to like 300 nautical miles or something like that. Like, that's better.
Yeah. Most of your power loss is going to be from hover. So I would say that you really want to limit your time in hover, or in that transition period where your nacelles are tilted at like 45 degrees, because that's going to put a lot more torque. You got to generate a lot more torque.
And you're lifting and moving the whole thing upward, countering gravity versus just cruising forward at a steady rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you're a pilot who's like, I'm going to maximize every bit of energy. You get up to the altitude, immediately transition over and get it into full flight as fast as possible. You know, being able to understand the time it takes to transition and detransition, and being able to nail and just be perfect about coming in and landing and getting out of hover as fast as possible and get down to the ground. So yeah, so for cross country, the Archer, even at 100 miles, after 100 miles, I want to take a break anyway. And I would get to see a lot of places. So, but yes, the hybrid is, since we first started flying them, the call for the hybrid. And battery technology is going to keep increasing as we go forward.
Yeah. For the military has been using them just to like move stuff around on military bases. He said it's been pretty cool, pretty nice.
Yeah, and I know you don't really, you don't, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking wrong, that you don't necessarily appreciate Anduril or Palantir. Or did I? That's somebody else.
I do not trust Palantir. They're doing too many things that, in my opinion, violate my privacy.
They're deeply integrated into the new air traffic control system, the advanced.
And that's fine.
Basically ATC V2.
But there's
national security.
Other things that they're doing. Like, I can't even think. It's something about, like, they're... If I remember this correctly, they almost want to fingerprint and eye scan every American. So you're, like, in the system. So wherever you go, you can be tracked, and if you need to get on a plane, you just scan your fingerprint or your palm print and you climb aboard. Like, no thanks. You know, I don't need to be in your system, man. You're some company. How about you shove it, you know? I have an ID. I'll show you that. But you don't need my handprint. Even though the government already knows who I am and everything about me, but...
All right. Changing subject real quick. So I don't know what's happened now. My throttle's up, my pitch is up, the engine, all of a sudden I just lost power, but nothing's changed as far as my controls that I can see. I'm trying to start the plane, the engine's completely died.
What?
And yeah, and I'm even doing like, I don't have it set for auto repair. I have to do an emergency landing. So, go on without me, sir.
Oh, no.
I've got to find the nearest airport and just put down.
And
I don't know what best glide speed is for this thing.
I
But
will be landing at Joint Base Andrews here momentarily.
some binoculars out. I can't see shite. I'm gonna have to land on a road.
You got a problem with your controls. I don't know what's going on there. That's
Well, I
weird.
just started implementing the new ones, trying to get them reset up, but I wasn't really touching anything or doing anything when this happened this time. So I don't know what this particular issue is caused from.
If we were in any other game mode, I'd say, oh, you forgot to fuel the plane, you know, but we're in free fly that doesn't use fuel, so...
Oh, but I do have my fuel off, but now I don't know where the fuel controls are for this thing. So
I believe they are on the left side of the yoke.
oh, look, I will also go to, and for the moment, see if that is the issue, and turn on unlimited fuel.
Yeah, I have unlimited fuel and free fly, so if I wanted to fly this like, all the way from one coast to the other across the United States, I could. Very unrealistic.
I'm just the opposite because I was really committed to learning how to fly for real. And for a moment I thought, I'm going to do it. And so I've always committed to try to keep everything as much as possible on real. Helicopters are the exception because that's maddening. I'm not a helicopter pilot, and
I flew
I
around in
want
some
to know.
helicopters in free fly, and they're a little bit tedious, even with a controller. But I started to get a hang of it after about 20 minutes.
I have to have all my assistances on for that. Cyclic tail rotor collective, vortex state protection. That's fun, dropping out of the air just because of the way you're sitting. No fun. That's why, again, another reason why I love eVTOLs. People are like, even in the missions where you do in career mode, the passengers get on and they're like, I've never been on a helicopter before. And I know that they can't hear me. But in my live stream, I turn around and I tell them, I'm like, this isn't a helicopter. These make helicopters cry. You can't get into a helicopter and lift 2 feet off the ground and let go of the controls. You'll be dead.
Right?
I'm going to lift 2 feet off the ground and let go of the controls and turn around and smile at you. This is not a helicopter. Never make that mistake.
There's a guy called Heavy D on YouTube. I don't know if you've heard of him. He lives in southern. Well, he actually, his house is up here in Salt Lake, but his business is in like Provo, about mid-state, and he has this like secondary company from his first company in Provo that is about like heavy equipment recovery and salvage and rescue.
Nice.
And this fool, I mean, I see him as a fool, but like, he purchased a Black Hawk, like a straight up military retired Black Hawk, with like armor plating around the pilot seat and shit. And he was bombing that son of a bitch through the fucking Grand Canyon, or through like the Lake Powell area, just swooping and diving through these canyons. And I was like on the edge of my seat, like, dude, stop. Like, I don't know what obviously you know what you're doing. I can see you know what you're doing, but that scares the shit out of me. You need to not do that. Autopilot is off.
So I put down about 10 miles, maybe 5 to 10 miles from the Jekvo waypoint. I'm trying to see, and I'm next to I didn't make it to an airport. Close. KILG is the closest airport to me. KILG. So if you look back along the route, I'm probably 10 miles from KILG. I don't know what happened. I went and turned the fuel on, and then I tried restarting the engine. No restart. So ultimately, I have no idea. See if I can start it up again.
I need to contact
Potomac approach. Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011 1400.
Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011. Potomac approach. Altimeter 29er Niner tree. Radar contact continue.
I'm going through inputs. Have a wonderful landing.
Seems like it's gonna be a good one.
Good.
I can't make a fool out of myself. President lands here.
Andrews Tower. Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011 is 1 miles north, 300 with Echo to land.
Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011 Andrews Tower. Altimeter
Whoa, what is happening?
fly left traffic runway 19er right. Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011. Contact ground on 121.8.
121.8. Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011.
Whoa. Kind of okay. For some reason, the plane wants to pull really hard to the right. It was doing that on takeoff, too.
Yeah, I told you I had a tough time after I took off with the nose wheel input.
Got a contact ground.
Andrews ground. Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011. Request taxi to parking.
Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011. Taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Whiskey 4 Whiskey Whiskey 2.
Whiskey, whiskey.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Whiskey 4 Whiskey Whiskey 2. Hazard Hotel Charlie Alpha 8011.
Tonight, the group flight, however, if anybody starts bringing up politics, I think I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Too many people that I don't know that, I don't know. I hope it doesn't come up. Normally, it's not. They keep all politics out of things.
Well, either way, happy birthday, America.
Oh, man. Yes, sir. Are you down? Did you make it?
I made it.
Good. What happened there at the end? I heard you distressing a
I
little
kind
bit.
of sense. I don't know if it's like crosswind on landing or something, but I kind of went off the right side of the runway. I didn't crash. I recovered, but I've had way better landings in this thing. It seems like it wants to pull left or right in random directions for some reason, which is kind of new.
It only makes you stronger, hazardous, every bit of it. Only makes you stronger. The
True.
whole idea that if you can walk away from it, consider it a win and another notch of experience, another point of experience.
I just wish the shadows worked on this thing.
That's right. I was going to mention that when we first got in. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the plane with the shadows. And the buggy shadow. That was some good troubleshooting, my friend. Yeah, I just went back out, went through the controls again real quick, and I'm just taking off again and flying around. Just checking things out. I really need to, after this, get the F-35 and set up some controls for that and test fly them before they take off.
Yeah. Definitely need to do that.
I know you... No, I can't tell you what to do. I know you normally don't play too much music, but I really like your birthday songs to America. Would you be at first to playing them?
What's up?
Would you not want to play them?
I had it play at the beginning of the stream, and I have it set to
Okay.
play at the very end of the stream on my
Okay, great.
starting and
All right.
ending screen.
And forgive me, I wasn't watching the stream, or I don't have it tuned in because I'm here. And but I think that's fantastic. I really enjoyed them, and it would be a shame if nobody else got to hear them.
Well, if they stick around for another minute or two, they will definitely get to hear it.
I definitely recommend you do, folks, and please remember to like and subscribe.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
Normally I do VIP company flights, but on occasion we do group flights. Ed Kinney is today.
Thank you, and I appreciate you inviting me in.
Yeah.
Folks, he's got a really fantastic Discord too. And so if you're not part of a group, or if you're a live streamer, and either way, if you're not part of a community and would like to be, I think this is a great place to start.
Cause system test. Okay.
We've hooked up with some good people. Mr. Lazy out there and Nerd Droid. Boy, is he active.
Nerd Droid?
Both, actually. Just Mr. Lazy's always on, and Nerd Droid is pretty much always on. Well, so far I'm over here pressing my controls, trying to see if I can duplicate any of the problems that I've had, and so far so good. Just fluky.
Weird thing is my plane won't even turn off.
I've had that problem a lot, and normally I turn it back on, just restart the thing, give it a couple of seconds, and then try turning it off again. That happened to me frequently, especially trying to close down a mission.
Weird.
Yeah, I'd get mad too, because it's a matter of if you just exit out, then you just, I know it's a free flight, but in the career mode, you just void everything you've done.
Right.
So if that happens to you, if you're sitting in career mode and you're trying to shut down and it doesn't, start it up again and then turn it off again. As far as wins, I'm taking a huge hit from winds from the west. Huge gust just pushed me.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's significant. Threw the plane over. But I don't know how to pull up wind speeds yet on this thing. Oh, if you're waiting for me to get there, I'm not going to.
Oh no, I was trying.
Okay, good.
I was trying to like manually figure out how I can turn this plane off without
Gotcha.
like. I think I figured it out. I had to like
Usually,
push the throttles up and down and the props up and down and the engine conditions up and down to like work it to not do stuff. Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Appreciate everybody tuning in, hitting that like and subscribe as always. Live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time, every time. I'll see you all on the next one. Say bye.
hey, goodbye. Hey, and if you like hazardous music, make sure you check out my live stream, Sky Dude. And I play lots and lots and lots and lots of music from Hazardous.
That is true. Go check out Kineas. I will put a link in the description below.
Well, the story starts in Philly with a fire in the night. 13 little colonies standing up the British might. They rang that bell for freedom, let the whole world hear it ring. and a brand new nation rose up on the courage of a dream. Happy birthday, USA, 250 strong today. From the rivers wide to the ridgelines high, we've come a long, long way. Through every storm and every fight, you kept your spirit bright. Happy birthday, USA, still shining in the light. We rode west into the sunset, chased the buffalo and wind, built the railroads through the mountains, raised a home where none had been. Cowboys, miners, dreamers, every soul with grit and pride, tamed the wild and rolling frontier with the good Lord as our guide. Happy birthday, USA, 250 strong today. From the rivers wide to the ridgelines high, we've come a long, long way. Through every storm and every fight, you kept your spirit bright. Happy birthday, USA, still shining in the light. We broke the chains of slavery, let freedom take its stand, paid the price in blood and sorrow just to heal this broken land. From the Civil War's dark thunder to the peace that followed on, we learned a nation can be wounded and still rise again at dawn. We fought in distant places when the world was gripped with fear, from the trenches over yonder to the islands far from here. We reached the moon, we built the future.